So the other thing is being so tired. I don't think people like understand. Tired to the point where it was like I could barely get out of bed. If I got out of bed, I'm at work like wanting to cry because I'm so tired, and I would just come home and go straight to sleep, and I would just sleep through the night. That was the first couple weeks after I found out I was pregnant. Then I had a little more energy, but then after that it was like, no, I'm tired. Like, and I was just going to bed at 8:30. Even to this day, I need to be in the bed at 8:30, and I need to be asleep because I wake up so many times in the middle of the night and I'm just so tired. Like, you just need so much sleep. And like that really just affects your social life. Like, it's crazy, but it's nice to sleep. I don't know. Emotions. Emotions. I think it was the end of week 10 was when I really started to see a shift in emotions. I had like a couple friends that felt like I was like different emotionally because of like a situation I feel like that happened, but I definitely wasn't more emotional. I definitely wasn't like, I didn't feel different, and I'm very in tune with my body. Like, I don't feel like anything changed until the end of week 10. I was at home and I was just like, I am not okay. Like, mentally, emotionally, I was not okay, and I was like, oh, okay, yes, I feel different now. Just not feeling okay, feeling really horrible. Not even feeling like happy about the pregnancy, and then just being really moody and like really on edge. I'm just so grateful that I had 2 friends who were moms already. Having friends around you that don't have kids and have never had kids is so hard on a friendship. And it's so hard on like understanding. It's like if your one friend was going through cancer and you've never been through it, you don't really know exactly that you need to be there for them in certain ways. You can do research, which is a great thing to do when someone's going through something, is to like research and just, you know, try and learn as much as you can about what they're going through. When you find people who really connect with you, it's like a whole different ball game, because it's a really hard time. Like, pregnancy is so hard. The whole thing is so hard. Your body is going through so much, like, and I'm just gonna get into that in my next video about the second trimester, because this video is gonna be super long as it is. But yeah, emotions are crazy. Just your life changing is crazy. Being tired all the time is crazy. People not understanding like how tired you are, like how you can't do anything, and like just how you notice how some people take advantage of the time that you're alive, like, and they take advantage of that and want to be around you still. And then the people that just are like, oh, you can't kick it after 8, like, that sucks, you know. It just is like, it's very eye-opening on like relationships and friendships. But let's get into the must-haves and the tips. Must-haves: crackers, like, on hand, like at your nightstand. I read this so many times and I was just like, I don't need to do that. And I started doing it a week ago and it has changed my life, okay? And I'm in my second trimester. I just now started eating crackers in the morning, like before I actually get out of bed, and at night, and it has made a huge difference. And I wish I would have started it week 5. So crackers, or, you know, some type of fruit that you can keep, some type of snack. I think crackers are the best to keep at your nightstand. Hands down, just really helps you get up in the morning and not feel horrible. Eating small meals, I mentioned that, 6 small meals or more. Taking prenatals at night, depending on your prenatal. A lot of prenatals that I researched and mine kind of make me like queasy, and so the best time to take it is at night. Meal prepping is the way to go. I didn't do it and I wish I would have. It would have made things a lot easier, but not meal prepping too much, because sometimes you like are about to eat something, you're like, I don't want that, and you don't want to waste a bunch of food. But like bringing fruit, like already sliced up, vegetables that you know you like, you know, little things that you can meal prep to just throw in a bag so that you can be snacking throughout the day. Make sure you listen to your body, even though many people may think you're being dramatic or It's not that serious. You're not that pregnant. Listen to your body and just do what you want. If you want to sleep for 3 days, sleep for 3 days. If you want to eat a burger 3 days in a row, eat a freaking burger. Like, do what you want. Like, don't listen to other people. Just do what you want. Like, listen to your body and just do it, because it's going to make things a lot easier. Research. Do a lot of research. It really, really helps with understanding what you're going through, what you're about to go through. For me, when I was researching, or like my apps that I use that I'll show you guys in a second, everything is spot on with what I'm going through, especially my second trimester. We're talking first trimester, but especially my second, everything is spot on, and it's really helpful to know what's about to come and try to prepare for it. But also, it feels so good to know you're not the only person who's going through this and the only person who went through it in their pregnancy, because people will tell you like, yeah, you're gonna get heartburn, yeah, this and that. Yeah, it's like, okay, first of all, stop being so negative. Second of all, you were pregnant like 20,000 years ago. I don't want to listen to you, which is kind of rude, but that's how I view people who just keep yapping. But like, reading week by week about what your body's about to go through is so helpful. Getting the what to expect when you're expecting book is really helpful. My favorite apps that I use, okay, so I use Flow, which is the pink one, Baby Center, which is the middle one, and Ovia Pregnancy. So Flow is the one I was using to track my periods when I was trying to get pregnant. And I really like Flow because it's just super simple, like really simple. It shows you like where you are in your pregnancy. You can go to calendar. If you go to Insights, the tab at the bottom, it just has all this information for you about what you're going through. Why does Baby Center keeps logging me out? But I really like Baby Center because it's super like about like community. I don't really use the like forums to like talk with people, but I'll read like their stuff. Baby Center also has videos. It has this one lady who does a video about pregnancy, that, you know, the weeks she was going through it. So if you're in week 17, she's saying what week 17 is going to be like. Ovia Pregnancy is what my doctor said was her favorite. So it looks like this, and it just tells you the size of your baby. And like, this is pretty cool because that's the size of the baby's hand after it's born. Like, if they were to put it on your phone screen, and the green is the size of their hand now. What else does this offer? It offers just like a whole like a bunch of information again, like Flow does. It has a community board as well where people post things. It also has like a way for you to log what you eat and stuff to see your moods, what you eat, how much water you're drinking, so you can keep track, but also see how things are changing. And then it asks you every single day if you took your prenatals the day before, stuff like that. So I really like that one as well. Apps are super helpful. Those three are my favorite. I use all three of them. Okay, so for the nausea, people ask you about morning sickness. Morning sickness ain't real, okay? Like, it's all day sickness. It's all day nausea. It doesn't stop. Like, it just goes and goes and goes. So for me, the only way to stop my nausea was to eat. I had to just put food in my mouth. That was the only way I could stop the nausea. And that's why I say eating 6 meals a day is perfect, because every like hour and a half or 2 hours I was getting nauseous, and I would have to eat something to make it go away. Something that also helped, like if I didn't bring food, was peppermint oil. I would just smell the essential oil, and that helped with the nausea for maybe like 30 minutes. And then also ginger chews. My boss bought me some from Trader Joe's. They were super like sweet, but I would just break them in half and then just chew on them and suck on them, and that helped with the nausea as well. Another tip is to write everything down. Anytime you have a question, you can research it, but also just write it down. Bring that notebook with you to the doctor and just ask them the questions. They don't get tired of the stupid questions, because they understand what it's like to be pregnant and to have your first pregnancy, etc. I have midwives as my doctors, and they're just so kind and like patient with me. Even being forgetful on questions, if I don't bring my notebook or my notepad. But yeah, make sure you write everything down, like things you're experiencing that you're worried about, questions, you know, hacks and things that you've heard of, like what they think of it, and just see what they say. Oh, so this is another thing that I experienced that was pretty terrifying. So we had our trip to Disneyland. So my 12th week, when I was in my 12th week of pregnancy, and you have one more week until the end of your trimester, or that's your last week of your first trimester. Some people count the 12th week, some people count the 13th week as your last week of your first trimester. I counted 12 because I was ready to be out of my first trimester. So week 12, my last week of my trimester, me and my husband, we went out to dinner, and we came back home and everything was fine. I was just super tired. I'm walking to my bedroom and I just kind of felt like I'm wet down there, and I'm like, what's going on? Turns out I'm bleeding, and I tried to tell myself not to freak out as I walked to the bathroom calmly, because since week like 7 I had been watching nothing but miscarriage videos, which is so unhealthy. So I was just like, okay, stay calm. I went to the bathroom, and like it was just so much blood, and so I call Xavier in. I'm like, try not to freak out, and then I just like start crying, of course. And you know, he's just like, what is happening? So he's like on his phone doing research, finding things that I've already read a million times. So I'm just like, do I go to the hospital? Do I just let it go? Like, what do I want to do? I wasn't sure. So I called one of my friends who had been through something similar, and I call her up, and she ends up just talking me through it. And you know, it's just like, well, what do you want to do? What's going to make you feel comfortable? So I just ended up going to the emergency room. And it was just an insane experience because it's like 11 o'clock at night. Like, we're so tired, and of course this happens, and of course it's right before we leave for Disneyland. Of course it's like the end of my first trimester when you still have percentages of miscarriage, and just driving and just like crying. It was just like a lot. And like I get to the hospital and we are checking in, and I just tell, you know, they always ask you why you're here, and I'm just like, I'm 12 weeks pregnant, I'm having some bleeding, I need to make sure everything's okay. And she's like, okay. And then like she takes my stuff, and like I'm just like stone faced kind of, like just trying not to show too much emotion. And so we go sit down, and then like she calls me back. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to cry. Okay, I literally just did my makeup, so we're not gonna do this right now. She calls me back over, and she's like, oh, I didn't give your ID. And then she gave it to me, and she was like, you know, you look really nervous and like really worried, and I just really want you to take a couple deep breaths. And I'm just like, and I just start sobbing, and people in the ER just looking at me, and I'm just sobbing at the counter. And she's just like giving me this pep talk. She's like, just put it in God's hands. She was like, it's, you know, you're gonna be okay, everything's gonna be okay, like don't be nervous. And like she's, you know, whispering because she's trying to keep it confidential. And I'm just like listening to her, and I'm just like sobbing because it was just a lot. Like, that's just not something you want to go through, a miscarriage in general, but like a miscarriage scare also, like that's just not fun. And so I just go back, and like right when I'm about to walk away, the doctor comes and calls my name. So we get put in this room, and then like it just felt like no one was worried about what I was going through. But it turns out it's because they weren't worried. And so anyways, they bring the lady in with the ultrasound, and I'm just like not looking, and Xavier's looking at the screen, I'm not looking at it. She finds the baby, she's like, the baby's here, there's a heartbeat, everything's good. And I'm just like, are you serious? And so she pretty much just said that because I just had like one like burst of blood, and it didn't like continue like at home or at the hospital, like I didn't keep bleeding, she was like, it's not a miscarriage, it was probably a pocket of blood that just bursted. She said, I can't tell you, you know, like what exactly it is, but we don't see any issues in your uterus right now. So I'm like, okay. It was nice, but it was kind of unbelievable because it's like I just went through that, like, but I still have a baby, how like something's gonna go wrong, you know what I mean? But I had a doctor's appointment 2 days later, so they were just like, take it easy and just talk to your doctor about it. If you have more bleeding before your doctor's appointment, come back to the ER. This is probably really boring, so I'll like speed it up, but pretty much she was just saying that everything was good, like I don't need to worry about it, you know, have safe travels on the airplane. That's just something that I experienced the end of the first trimester. I know a lot of people just want to know what my experience has been, and so that's why I want to share this, as well as things that may be helpful to other people who are pregnant or are getting pregnant. Anywho, well, Xavier's home and this is awkward filming and this video is super long anyway, so I'm just gonna end this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments section and I will answer it and reply. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed, and like this video if you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!